Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. Let's play NewsTower. This is the sounding rocket, and we are approaching the end of 1932. It is October. In the previous episode, we unlocked the pneumatic tube, and I did a little bit of research to see how these work. And I'm not going to install any yet because I honestly don't know how I want to do it from a strategic perspective. And I also think it lends itself towards a new reorganization of the tower, and so I'm kind of looking forward to taking a little time and figuring out what that needs to look like before I actually put them in. I guess we can put one in. It won't hurt anything. They basically are a point-to-point delivery system. They have to have a little bit of open space. They are one space wide, so like one would fit here. They'll fit in a lot of places. I was a little surprised they would. Not in there, but in here. Up here, I think I was able to find a spot like way over here they could do it. So let's go ahead and just drop one in here. And this is not optimal placement of one of these for sure, but I just want to show you how they work. So we can maybe put one here next to the reporters' desks. And let's have that one go. So we drop there, and then we get the pair to put. Now, it'll go through anything. It just needs wall space is what it comes down to. And the height above the floor that it is right now, that's all you can do. You can't move it up or down from there. So that's where you need to have space available. But once you have that space available, you are good to go. I'm trying to think of a good spot to take this to, and we do have the ability to stash them as well if we don't like what we did, but you will notice the longer the tube is, the more it's going to cost me. So all the way down to here is about $3,500, and that'd be kind of interesting. I wonder if you could like have a spot where they drop off their reports and it goes straight up to typesetting or something like that, or maybe to the editor's desk. That would be interesting. But long story short, this is how they work. Let's put one. I don't know. Let's put one here. Okay, and then you are also able to. So unlike stairwells, they can cross. So if I were to put another one here, for whatever reason, you'll notice it can cross over the other one. In fact, there it crosses it twice, right? So that's not a problem. They can cross stairs, they can cross elevators, whatever you need, they can cross. So what I was thinking is, if this would be a good place or not, I'm not sure. We have this desk, and then we have this guy down here who, you have to come down an extra flight of stairs. Maybe we do that. Go ahead and put those in, and we'll leave them there for now just to see how effective they are. Absolutely not optimal placement. I know that. I just haven't had enough time to really work with them to kind of figure out what would be the right way to use them just yet. It does suggest that you want departments where you have all your reporters in one room, and where you have your editors in one room, and where you have, like the graphics, the illustrator and photography, things like that, kind of grouped together better, because then they can just use this to send their reports. Let's go ahead and see how that works as we move forward here. And in the meantime, we have an ad that is running. We don't have the ability to do two ads yet. And we have this over here that is waiting for a photographer. Let's go ahead and get on that, and then we will start the mechanism. Here we go. Looks like we're out of paper again in the printer. I'll help out here a little bit. Now, the other thing that we eventually can get is the dumb waiter, which will basically allow you to load these kinds of things and ship them up and down like in a cargo elevator, basically. Don't know how big that is. I haven't used it yet. We will eventually get there, though. Okay, let's see what we have here. And I'm kind of watching those tubes to see if somebody starts using them. Here we are onto the second part of this ad. There we go. And yeah, Dolores is leveled up quite a bit now, and she's getting these done pretty quickly. That's good to see. And we are not paused. I need to do that. Okay, crime. Let's make sure we remember what we have here. Print no crime this week, so we're going to want to skip that. That's what that means. Try to print at least a mob. And Okay, we want a review if possible. Well, that's not going to happen here. I think we go ahead and can this one for now. Let that person go and get another story for us. And there they are. Entertainment. And okay, I thought I hit pause. We'll go with that. We'll have a decision to make if we want to go with an illustrator, which that's probably a good bet. Oh, and it has a review. We'll definitely want to do that. So we'll end up going with the illustrator here once Lucille is done with her part of this report. What else do we have? It's another crime story. Well, we're doing our best to avoid those this week. We're gonna pass on that one. If we get a crime story, what do you do if you get a crime story that's also a mob story, though? That would be interesting, right? We are paused. Another illustrator. Okay, and let's see what the other one is. Just a straight up society story. Well, let's go ahead, let's bang that one out, and we'll do it quickly in case this will be a week that, a society breaking news comes out. That tends to be my luck, it seems. We will go ahead and toss some folks on here. Man, our reporters are getting some points now. That's good to see. And we'll go with the illustrator again as the second step there. And we're advancing on this one. Okay, so illustration. 1 day, 1 hour. Okay, he should be able to get 2 of those done this week. Timing is right. There's a clipper ship floating by. I wonder if we're going to see him over here too. And he's busy this time, so we'll have to kind of be mindful of that. There goes one of those ships. He's not available yet. Still drawing. Our new story, politics with possible mobsters, but not a mob tag. Well, let's go with it. And that might be enough time for that other story. There he is. Okay, feeling good about that. These are just cranking out now. All right, we'll send Charlotte. And gonna get a medium number of mobsters, 2. We can handle 2. I don't think they like us talking about their business. Yeah. That is an astute observation. And here they come. Another story coming in. Entertainment. No mob tags. Come on. That's a double header. There we go. Now, one thing that some comments came through, and I agree with this. I'm just not sure I'm ready to make that step yet. I would rather take the hit for now when I don't get tags that I'm looking for. But if you have more telegraphers and they're turning over stories more quickly, so when you decide you're not going to do a story, you kill it right away, you are much more likely to get the tags that it's asking for. One comment was, you will always get the tags if you turn over enough stories. I guess mathematically that would be true because they should eventually come up again. But for now, where I'm at with how I want to build this, that's not going to be my goal to hit every one of those when I have to. It is good to know that there are some things that I hadn't completely thought through that might help address that, though, and so I thought I would pass that along to you guys. There goes one of the mobsters. Wow, he really went flying, didn't he? All right, well, I think we're done there. Don't know if they broke anything. Maybe just scared Dolores here a little bit. She's like, why don't I have a door on my office? She should have a door in her office, shouldn't she? We should do that. Why isn't there a door in her office? Here we go. There you go, Dolores, your very own door. I don't know if it'll keep mobsters out, but it might help a little bit. We've got some empty space, and part of that is I'm trying to decide how I want to really build forward. And we've talked about this a little bit. There's a few things that are coming up. We get much bigger, we're going to have to figure out where to put another generator. And I think a piece of my mind was thinking, well, maybe we keep it low. I don't know if it would fit here. Probably wouldn't. All right. Hey, we got a new toy. Soap bar rack. It helps with cleaning. Excellent. That can't hurt, can it? Let's see what all it helps with. We're going to pause that. And I guess, yeah, we're going to want to put it near the cleaning station. So there it is. We do have the alarm. How much influence do we have? I know we were running a little thin. 16. That's not bad. I don't recall what the next big thing we wanted to get. Obviously, eventually another page for the paper, but we're going to want more reporters and other stations first, and I am going to want to do a really good cleaning and rebuild of everything else. So that is something I will kind of plan out offline. When I do those things, it is not quick. I want to be very clear about that. And that's part of the reason I don't want to do it while we're actually doing a video. And I totally missed a story, didn't I? Unless two just came in at the same time. Let's see. Well, that is going to be a great story in the long run. There's a couple of silver tags here. It's not going to happen this week, though. Even with Elaine reporting in 11 hours, there'll be a second part, even if that's 11 hours. I don't think there's any way we get that one done, but let's go ahead and start there. And then this one's just a one-off, and we can certainly get that in. He can do it in 16 hours. It'll be midway through Saturday. Yeah, that should get done. Okay, I'm good with that. So talking about when I do a restructure, yeah, I will go through and basically kind of just map out what makes some sense and kind of measure some things out to make some decisions there. I really enjoy how the game allows you to do that without penalizing you too much. If I pause it and I move some stuff, nobody is hurt really for the most part. I think if you disrupt an actual working job, like somebody is trying to get to this toilet, that might make a little bit of a difference, but it's not a huge penalty where, you know, you're losing days and days. And so I like that. It allows you to kind of experiment with some ideas too, if you really want to. So I'll probably do a little bit of that offline. And we'll see what magic solution I come up with. All quiet on the Western Front, it feels like. Okay, here we go. A story and an update here. We kind of saw that coming, and we're not getting that one in this week, so we'll go ahead and go with Chris. I'm curious how long it would have taken Elaine to do this piece, though. If he can do it in 13. She has two more arrows. She has two more echelons there. It would be faster. I don't know if it would be an hour each. Anyway, let's see what we're doing here. Charlotte Smith. Philadelphia's tallest structure. Tower soars at over 800 feet. Nice. Not very familiar with Philadelphia myself. I've never been to Philadelphia, now that I think about it. I've been to Pittsburgh. Have not been to Philadelphia. I've been to Scranton. That was a fun little trip. Okay. It's a numbers game. That's often the case. That is often the case. All right, an hour and a day. This will absolutely not get done in this cycle, and that's okay. It'll be a good news story for next week. I think we avoided crime. I didn't pay really super close attention to the secondary tags when there was more than one part to a story, but I'm not seeing any there. I don't think we're going to have 12 stories. And again, it's late enough. We're not going to get these in, so let's just give some experience where we can. I'm working on the principle that giving somebody experience at the end of the week is beneficial in the long run, based on the model that businesses often like to try to squeeze in every last invoice they can before end of month to better their numbers this month and then plan that next month will be better. I don't know how successful that plan is, but it's a plan and it's a strategy to use. So that's why I'm doing that. I feel like I saw something here while I was talking that I wanted to look at more closely, and it's not coming to me. So, okay, there we go. We are in Sunday. We knew that. Should have another story hitting maybe before the end of the day. Yeah, that'll happen right there. We paused, and it is a crime story. Well, it's okay to start a crime story. We just don't want to print one this week. So there we go. And I don't know that we did. That's right. We got a review. So I think we're in good shape there. We will need to be mindful to do the scandal story, as it was kind of already out there before we started the week. Everything is up to date there. We're probably not going to see any of these complete in the next few minutes. And we did have a lot of stories out there that aren't done. Oh, that one's not going to... Oh, we knew that. We knew that. That's okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and hit the presses. Sort by readiness, and I do want to collapse everything. Come on. Everything means everything. Severed hands found. Well, that's a little gruesome. Never got back to another ad, did I? See? Yeah, I just don't think about it. Well, I think, okay, this is sloppy production, and I think we know that our photographer is the problem there. We're going to have to work on that. But sloppy or not, 2 gold tags, that beats everything else, no matter what. So we're going there with that. Already at 146,000. Yeah, we're kind of good with that. And this one is old news and sloppy, but it has a match or 2 or 3, so we're going to go with it. And what else do we have here that matches? I see some gossip. I see entertainment. Do we have any one-off? Yeah, here's a one-off entertainment. Here's a double silver entertainment. That's going to make a great top-line story, though. Do we have society on any of these? No, it's literally entertainment, isn't it? Okay, well, we'll do that. Not bad start. 1 page, 172,000 already. So we'll do this here, and I think we've met both of those. We did not have a mob story, but that was for money only. So we should pass this challenge, this hidden agenda challenge. So I think we're okay there, even though we didn't get a tag that I was hoping for. And then we will have a match here. Oh, that is a... Okay, I do want to see this. So 209,000. If we swap these, we lose 5,000 subscribers or readers, but we will be doubling the influence points. I kind of feel like that might be important since we were struggling with those so much. Nonetheless, we'll go back this way. And you know what? I wonder if I could do just another... Move this to another page. There we go. Nope. Page 3. We're going to put that there. I saw that there was another one of these. No? Oh, it's not ready. I didn't pay attention to that part. Okay, we'll come down here and we'll drop that one there. 232,000, and we haven't fleshed things out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 more stories. We have 6 more slots. Look at that. That's going to work out well. Better than I anticipated and probably better than I deserve. Okay, we go with that. I think we just do a one-off here. More entertainment. Man, tons of entertainment news this time, you know? We'll go with an ad here. We're just doing ads. Lots and lots of ads. Ads for everyone. Okay, and then these are politics. At least we do have matches there, and we're going to be close to 260. 256,000. I'll take that. We are loaded up. I don't know that there's a much better way to optimize it. I think we hit the highlights there, so we're going to run that and pull that big lever. Composition scandal. I think that's what it said. Never before have they entertained me this much. Well, I mean, there was a lot of entertainment in there, wasn't there? So that could be true. Society honors its living conformists and its dead troublemakers. Interesting. We are rolling in the dough. Really don't have any problems with space right now. We got plenty of money to build up. And we completed the Mafia story, even though we didn't have any of those tags. That's okay. So we'll get a new story is what it comes down to, and it might give us some better options. That's what we were kind of looking to do, move through it. We completed that neighborhood. Awesome. Come on. There we go. Very good. New tag, skillful. Well, that sounds promising, doesn't it? I am really curious what that new model is going to look like, on how this is going to work. As we know, we were told that this is changing some. Actually, it sounds like it's changing pretty drastically, not just some. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like. That's why I'm not paying a whole lot of time on that, because in the long run, it isn't going to matter. Once the game hits its next stage, I think it will be a little bit different. So, slight increase, probably some salary increases there. I don't think we hired anyone. Nope, not this week. Okay, well, leaving the recap, and not bad. We have 3 options for stories. Let's take a look. They want... Every picture is $3,000. That's not a bad deal if we can get some of those. We don't really need the money, though. We need influence. So we'll come back to that. What are they offering? If we do 2 reviews, we get 10 influence points. That sounds promising. And how about Mr. Mayor? No economy or politics and tags for society. Well... I have politics, I have economy already in the works. We'll sit on this, but maybe we try to sandbag a few society stories for the end of the week, make them live next week. Oh, and it looks like lawsuits if we fail this one. So we're going to want to be mindful of that. So this is one that you can kind of plan ahead of stage, right? If I remember close to the end of the next week, hey, I don't want to do any econ or politics next week, and I want to have some of these, I can sandbag a little bit and be ready for that particular challenge. Looks like we're going to do the High Society Challenge. 2 silver stories that are reviews, not the easiest thing to have happen, but not impossible either. We did have a lot of entertainment last time, so I might see if focusing on sports might help with that. But we'll take that one, and then we need to pick a neighborhood. And I really don't know. I was trying to solidify some of these that were one-offs. That one, you know what? This is as good as any, I think. We'll solidify that neighborhood. And there are the 2 reasons we do that. We get dedicated readers, loyal subscribers is what they call it, and then we'll get 2 influence points. It's not, going to break the bank there, but it's a move in the right direction. So that's what we'll do for the next week. Story's already coming in. I'm going to pause it right there. And in the next episode, this is where we'll start. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoy NewsTower. It's a fun game, and there's so much you can do with it. Until next time, though, fair travels.